Good evening, students. Welcome to Unacademy YouTube. Hi, Priyanka. Very good evening. Welcome to the class. Hi, Shivani. Good evening. Welcome to the class. All right. So, to the time the others join in very quickly, let's begin once again. I hope you all are safe and sound, healthy and hearty, and wishing you, stay safe because the exams are approaching. And like I told you, that this is going to be a pre-board revision part one for psychology, as we are going to do two classes, one today and one tomorrow. This is completely based on the full syllabus drill, and I would be covering the first three to four chapters today as much as I can in this hour, and the remaining would be done tomorrow. And if we require, we would be also having a part three revision if so required. So without wasting any time and without delaying the same. Hi Kanishka, welcome back, beta. Hope you're doing good. All right. So what I insist of you guys doing is, like you all know, that now it's been time that you are already aware of the plus features. You are already aware of what special and YouTube is offering to you. Still, your final examinations are near, and there are just 2 days remaining, probably tomorrow, today, tomorrow, and the 27th, where 28th, where this is applicable, and you can just get a flat 10% discount on the subscription plans. This is not just for the class 12 students, it is also for the class 11 students who are watching this right now, just in case, or later, where they can enroll for the course, because class 12th examinations are also going to be reaching to you guys soon. And yeah, this is the time also for class 12 students, because your exams begin in the month of May, and there are some papers which are probably in the month end or in the month of June in terms of the optional papers. Please go ahead and check out the subscription if you haven't checked. So, welcome all to the class. My name is Professor Urmi, and I am your CBSE Plus educator, a verified educator with Unacademy. It's been a great journey so far, and I have seen my students doing a fantastic, phenomenal job. Uh, they've scored really well, and I'm hoping that you guys as well have a fantastic endeavor with us at my academy, Unacademy, and with us at the forum here, where you are thinking of doing and acing your examinations along with learning, interacting, and being an exclusive part and parcel of Unacademy. Unacademy brings you one concept of Ask a Doubt feature, which is already present in your mobile phones and apps. If you haven't watched it, please go ahead and check it out on the Learning app, where you can ask a doubt to any educator. You can ask unlimited doubts, and how you do it. As simple as this: you go ask unlimited doubts, you ask at any time, you get, the doubts are being answered with an high quality video which is provided in English as well as in Hindi. You receive exact machine matches for the questions. Not just this, you will understand certain things, how you obtain an accurate solution for the same. Ma'am, when will be the pre-boards of psychology? Anju, that's a great question, but that completely depends on your school's Right now, if you're asking me about Unacademy, we are still planning out on the optional subjects. We had included geography and sociology in the previous ones. This is in the pipeline and hopefully very, very soon. For now, I am here to help you ace your school pre boards with the revision course, and I'm hoping that this is going to help you shape it up and do it with the best of your caliber, and provide all the assistance to you whichever you guys need. Next is ask it out feature, which I'm telling you how do you ask it is as simple. You basically go ahead. Step one is click on the ask it out feature. Step two is take a picture, or you choose from your gallery of your phone of whatever you basically want to ask. Okay. Step number three is you click and select a picture of your question. Yes, I'm asking about the Unacademy. Yes, Anju, I'm answering about the Unacademy, where we are in the pipeline of focusing, and very soon we would be updating you with the same beta. So, right now, if you ask me, the dates are yet to be confirmed, but very, very soon. Next one is basically when you move ahead, step four, crop the picture and highlight in a proper position when the specific question is highlighted. Next is you choose the subject, whichever your question is from. It can be maths, it can be English, it can be sociology, it can be anything. Okay. Next is sit tight, you will receive your solution very, very soon. Now, this is basically the Ask a Doubt feature, which Unacademy has launched very, very recently, and it's phenomenal. Okay, moving to the features, you all know nothing like sitting back at your home, nicely on the couch, having your coffee, sipping your tea, and learning from the top educators of our country. Mentorship, guidance, the study material which we are providing, the practice tests which you're giving. It's basically all of it is for you to practice and ace your exams. We have different variety of batch courses. Every 2 months you can see there's a new batch course. Every new month you can see an exhaustive syllabus which is coming, special classes, YouTube. We have a plethora which we focus on. We bring to you the best of creative corners. We bring to you so many amazing YouTube sessions with the top educators, and you can get all the details of daily practice section, mock test series, quizzes, MCQs, subjective test series. You can just go ahead and check out the Telegram channel link which is given below. Join my class 12 Telegram link, and you will get all the updates of whichever class we publish. Whenever we do a new course, you can enroll and watch out the Space of Learning app for the same. The pricing of Unacademy 11th and 12th subscription is there. The subscription plans are supposed to change anytime, and hence I, as an educator, would always advise my students to go for a better and a high end plan, because you basically save on a lot of money and you get a better deal, because of course your entire syllabus will not just get over in a month. Okay, we would extensively cover all the syllabus with extra questions, extra notes. Plus platform, we focus on healthy explanations on all the NCRT and CBSE answers, because of course if your base is not clear, it will be very tough for you to crack it. So please go ahead and check out the subscription plans. I hope they help you. The iconic subscription is the latest baby Unacademy has brought for the people who are not very comfortable having a group study. This is for the people who would like to interact, to get in touch with the educator, where parents would like to interact with the mentors and have a 360-degree support system which gives you the assistance which you need, along with timetable to study planner to interacting. It has basically all the benefits of Unacademy, right from live classes to educators to tests to quizzes. It's completely a structured batch course as per your exam syllabus. The only thing is its specifically focus is on you. It has a personal mentor where you get a one-on-one guidance from the top educator for all your concerns and queries. Okay, so watch out for this space as well. So you can go ahead and check out the Unacademy Iconic subscription pricing. Yes, absolutely. The Iconic is a different subscription plan, and the Plus subscription is different. So please go ahead and check out the same. Next is you get a straight 10% discount, okay, which is only for the month of February. You can use the referral code plus 10. You can also use my referral code, that's Urmi Live, URMILIVE, which I will be showing you very, very soon. And also remember, you can download the Unacademy app. Of course, you can try all these features for free from Google Play as well as Play with as well as the App Store. So yes, these are few of the features which we have brought to you. Now to begin with, first chapter of variations in the psychological attributes. So please remember, you have any questions from anywhere, this is the revision course in class. You can please ask me whichever chapter you would want and we would take it from there. Now, when we speak about the concept of variations in psychological attributes, now we all know that there are different attributes, there are different psychological attributes which we have studied, okay, which is about the variations, which is about the concepts, for example, or whatever happening around us, the traits, okay, different objects, different people, okay. Variability is a fact of nature, okay, and individuals are no exception to this. This includes with physical characteristics. Now when I say variation, please remember, there are variations in people, there are variations in the physical and personal characteristics. For example, height, weight, strength, the hair color, we all are very, very different, okay. uh, Dr. Kalyani Rangarajan, Kripandi Management School. Greetings, Urmi. Happy to see you doing a lot of value added work in your life. Just came across your stream accidentally. Thank you so much, ma'am. So good to know. Thank you so much. I'm very happy to receive your message. Yes, absolutely. All right, let's move ahead. So when we speak about the different objects with different combinations of traits, okay, this is no combination where we say that everybody is the same. Hi, very good evening, welcome. Swatantra. Hi, good evening, welcome to the class. So basically, we are trying to discuss. Okay, hi Kratika, how are you? We are trying to discuss the variability. We are not same, we all are different in terms of our body structures, in terms of our thought process, in terms of our behavior, in terms of the characteristics we hold, and in terms of the influences on our personality traits. Now that can include anything, okay. It can also play, your basic ideology about circumstances in your life can also add a lot on your way of behaving, looking at things, the situation you consider, having the kind of behavior which can, you know, portray things in a different way, or, vice versa, or the personality trait which I'm trying to talk about. What I'm trying to say here is the situation which is creating with a different kind of perspective that views the human behavior relatively more as a result of influence of external factors. Now when I say the influence of external factors, what do you come across this? How do you come across the situations which are created in our life? For example, today something happens. Ma'am, can you please explain again? Absolutely, Priyanka, definitely. Priyanka, what I would like to share here is when I'm speaking about the variations in our life, okay, it can be the situations which are creating, or, which create a difference in your life, where are different sort of experiences, where are different sort of exceptions, where you might be intelligent, you might be smart, you might be dull, you might be dominant, you might be creative or not. This is how I mean to you bring to you the concept that every people here is different than each other, not just restricted to one, but they hold on into different ways or different ways of thinking, different ways of reaching out to people, their behavior patterns, and etc. For example, you have a different weight, I have different weight. You have different eye color, I have a different eye color. Your personality different, my personality is different. The way you look at things in your life is different than what I assume and I presume in my life. Every single person has different and variations of their psychological attributes and in their psychological senses. Now, when we speak about the term of situationism, what do you mean by situationism? क्या करा रहे हो आज के सेशन में, आज प्लीज बता दीजिएगा मैम. बेटा हम लोग रिवीजन कर रहे हैं फर्स्ट 3 चैप्टर्स के. So guys, any questions or doubts still here? I would definitely would want to know. Exactly. Fully ma'am, NCRT ma'am. Swatantra, today the half part we would be doing part one, and tomorrow we would be doing part two. Circumstances that influence our one's behavior. Absolutely, Kanishka, that's a very beautiful way of putting things. That somewhere or the other, the traits and the situation is basically how the circumstances are created, what we have seen. They are very different from each other. Now, basically, a situation. Now, a person who is generally aggressive may behave in the very opposite way when the other person is there. For example, here we are discussing about a boss. Okay, exactly, a theory viewing human personality as a function of response to situations. Yes. For example, now there's a person who's always angry, upset, sad, or probably rude about certain things, and suddenly there's a man who comes in front of him who is his boss. He changes. So this is a situational influence which is very powerful, that an individual can change his personality just in one go. Now that's an influence, that's a part and parcel where we speak about situationism. Now this is a very important part here, where we talk that how a person can change his ideology or values or probably the way they behave from being angry, submissive, react in an aggressive way to suddenly becoming normal. Situationism. Okay, now situationalist perspective views human behavior as resulting from interaction of external and internal factors. Now external and internal, it can be an accident, it can be a cognitive thought, it can be a physical injury, it can be a mental pressure, it can be a financial strain, it can be anything, guys. It can be anything. It can be external as well as internal factor. Now, when we speak about the assessment of psychological attributes, please remember the psychological attributes are involved in phenomena which is just exactly like the stimulus. For example, somebody is beating you and you react that, oh, laga, why did you beat me? The way you react to this is basically the way you react to the time and situation, what is happening around you during that time. Okay, now it can also be a concept of highly global, which can be a concept which is called as happiness. It is very difficult to count and specify the number of psychological attribute which can be assessed. Why? Because depending on the time, because depending on the situation, and assessment is the first step in understanding a psychological attribute. Assessment मतलब अरे if you analyze, अगर तुम उस चीज के बारे में पढ़ोगे तभी तो तुम समझोगे कि हो क्या रहा है. बिना उस चीज के बारे में जाने आप आगे कैसे बढ़ोगे. असेस करना किसे बोला जाता है? Once your examination is given, after that it's been assessed, whether pass, fail, how many marks, what did you write, what did you miss. Assessment. Similarly, psychological attributes will also be able to understand and analyzed only if it's assessed properly. Okay, now the attribute chosen for assessment depends on the purpose. Please remember, psychological assessment uses systematic testing procedures. Okay, qualities of the individuals, how you behave, what is the mindset, why you want to portray your situation or your behavior in this kind of way, what is the attitude. Okay. So assessment refers to the measurement of psychological attributes of individuals to their evaluation. Kya baat hai? Very, very well. Who's this person who has given the answer? Let me see. Yeah, Kratika. Good job. Now, for a poorly motivated person, we may assess his or her interest and preferences. Now, see, many times, I'll give you an example. When you are in your class 10th, when people tell that take this in class 11, take that in class 11, you're not good in studies, it's better you do not learn this, you do not take this subject. The assessment is also done on the basis of how you behave, how motivated you are, how encouraged you are. Kratika, yes beta, Kratika. Okay, how motivated or how encouraged you are to probably do something or to portray and focus on certain things. So now there are some domains of attributes here. Now, cognitive, social, and emotional. Or emotional, cognitive, first thing that comes to your mind should be the thought process, the way you think, the way you feel, the way you look at things, or the way you assume things. Next is social. Here reflects to the whatever conditions are happening around us, whatever we see, the way we interact, the way we live with people, the way we talk with people. And the last is emotional. Emotional, of course, there's a connect. Now, why are we speaking about a connect? Because this is important in terms of dealing with things with each other. When we are trying to understand mentally, we are trying to relate to it, we are trying to understand, perhaps also consider this as a cognitive feeling, because it is very, very important for us to deal with the complexities of our life. What are the domains? Now, imagine a point occupies no space. But think of the box. What if measurement and evaluation of behavior, characters of psychological attributes of psychological aptitude? Very well, Kanishka. Good job, man. Now, beta, when we are speaking about the concepts of the attributes, that's a point is taking a lot of space. Some people will say it doesn't take space. Now, you have an aspect where your thinking is different than mine. Okay, your thinking is completely different than mine, and like I told you, different people have different attitude, different people think in different ways. Similar is the case with psychological attribute. Okay, now they are usually multidimensional. If you want to have a complete assessment of a person, you will need to assess how he or she functions in various domains or areas such as cognitive, emotional, and social. You have to understand how that person functions. You need to understand and read about it. What is the first one? Intelligence. Now, intelligence basically has a capacity to understand certain things. How much marks you're getting in your exam is not intelligence, beta. People usually tend to understand that if you're getting good marks in your exam, that means you're intelligent. That's not intelligence. Intelligence is likely to do with the kind of thought you hold, the maturity you have, the way you understand and relate to things. And these are basically the scores which will make sure of your intelligence. Now, this is also a concept where people usually tend to understand that only if you're getting good marks, you're very intelligent. If you're getting less marks, you're not intelligent. So that's not the case. Next is aptitude. Now, this refers to an individual, okay, where you basically see that it has an underlying potential of acquiring skills. I'm sure that you guys know, when you guys are confused about taking up a stream or career, you give an aptitude test just to see that what you're good with, how people will trigger that skill, how people will see that, okay, you're good with this, you probably can take this career up. Why this aptitude test is being done? To check that what is the place where you are good at, how we can shape it up, how it can take up, you can deal with better things. And similarly, a person basically, for example, can having a language aptitude can be trained to be a better writer. If your English is good, if you're good with writing skills, you can be a better writer, you can be a good author. Why? Because you have that skill in you. And with aptitude, With the variations here with aptitude, basically we can find it out and the research that you are good with this skill and you can take this up. Next is interest. Interest is very important in terms of giving a preference to any one activity in regards to other. If you do not have interest in something, you cannot absolutely do it with pleasure. For example, a job. If you like your job, you will do well, you will perform well, you will, you know, get a good feedback from your bosses, you will do probably very good in professional world, and you can see an acknowledgement on the basis of the work you do. But if your interest is not there, if it doesn't lie here, then it will be very difficult for you and you will not be able to be satisfied in the type of job you are doing. Now, this is very, very important. You have to see what is the kind of job you're doing, what is the kind of performance you have to give to be satisfied in your life. So, interest plays a very important role. Next is your personality. Now, this refers to the characteristics which are very different from the others. For example, my mother has a very different personality. My father has a different personality. I might have some of the traits like them. I might have the emotional connect. I might have the empathy. I might have the thought process like them. I might have the thinking or the practicality like them. But, but somewhere or the other, our personality is very, very different from each other. Kanishka, you would like to say something on personality, beta? Anybody? Enduring the characters if a person that make him or her different from others. Now that is mentioned, na? Whatever is making you different from the others, that is already mentioned here, beta. No doubts. Okay, fantastic, Kratika. All right. What I'm trying to tell you guys here, what I'm trying to tell you guys here, personality, usually people feel that if the parents have this personality, the child will also have the same personality. Now, that's not the case. That's not the case. Your characteristics might, reflect in from one or the other, but your personality will be absolutely different. Sometimes you might have relatability. There might be chances that, there are, uh, some resemblance, but mostly it's different. It's not the same. Okay, not the personality behavior is not the same always. Next is values. Now, values are the beliefs which is a person in terms of your behavior, what you believe. Let's take an example of how you believe in God. Let's take an example of what you believe in terms of socio-cultural or political assessment. Now, that also reflects in terms of the categories which are a part and parcel of the psychological literature. So, these are a few segments. That's assessment. Let me go back again. Point number one, first is intelligence, second is aptitude, third is interest, fourth is personality, fifth is value. Okay, now these are very, very important. Moving to the next one is the interview. Interview means what? It basically means when you're having a one-on-one conversation. On basis of this, you're basically trying to understand the person, getting into a person where a personality refers to the individual differences to characteristic patterns of thinking, feeling, and behaving. Very nice. Yes. Okay. Now, interview is basically when you try to have a one on one conversation with the person and you're trying to know that person and you give that kind of importance to that person. Okay. When you basically try to give that kind of importance to that person, which is important here. Okay, now interviews basically are useful to know a person, to judge a person, or to have an idea about that person's background, along with a kind of emotional drill, whether he or she will be suitable for your organization or not. Now that's kind of a place where you can, when you can define what interview is. Next is a case study. Case study is more of an in depth research. Now, you must have heard that people do case studies over people. They try to understand what is the problem here, what is the kind of issue that person is facing, what he's going through, the life experiences mostly. In this, there are different methods which are being used, which, from the angle of research, question is psychological tests, okay, interviews, they can be observation where you're trying to keep a person, trying to study more of it, counsel that person, learn about his ideas, learn about his way of reacting towards thing. And somewhere or the other, you need to understand that case studies help you to research and know more about things in an in-depth manner. Next is observation. Observation always includes and involves structured things, okay, more of interactions which take place between two people where you're observing something, when you're being more organized. Now, what is an example here? It's kind of a phenomena which is taking between a mother and child interaction, which can very easily be studied through observation. Why observation? It's very simple here. It's a kind of bond which can be seen and noticed. Now that's an observation. When you have an observation, okay, see, this is the way he's reacting. Okay, Kanishka says, personality arises from within the individual and remains fairly consistent throughout life. Yes, Kanishka, that's true. But situationism is a factor. If that comes into picture, then there might be uh, some uh, disparities or some changes, if at all required. Okay. Next is the self report. Self report is a method in which a person provides factual information about himself or herself. Now, factual as in you already know what kind of a belief you have, what side of a source you have. Ex- Expecting, the personality arises in individual, you can say throughout life, Kanishka. That's absolutely a right point here. Okay, I think there's a message from Alia. Alia Banerjee says, how can accuracy, one second, how can accuracy be ensured in self report method? Okay, Alia, see, very simple self report method or self report study is what? It's basically ensuring to what ensuring and quantify something. Okay, now it basically prevents you as a participant from choosing an option that is not in the list. Okay, so now researchers, key areas they have found that the self reported data is very accurate when individuals understand the questions and there's a strong sense of anonymity and little fear of reprisal here. Now, when we are speaking about the self report measures in psychology, please understand that this is significant to direct behaviors, style of belief, attitude, intention. For example, behavioral measure which involve observing respondents' behavior sometimes is constrained or controlled in the environment. Now, this is plain and simple research which takes place here, Alia. Alia, yeah, Alia. Okay, moving to the next one. Next is intelligence. Now, intelligence is basically quoted, like I told you, constructing, not in forms of how much you're scoring, but these are just the definitions. With, for example, Most welcome, Alia. God bless. So, Alia, now you have to understand one thing, that if you genuinely ask me, self-report method accuracy will be there, but there will be an iota of doubt in terms of this. Not just self accuracy, but any type of research or any type of data, whether you try to analyze and measure, there will be a percentage of iota which will be a questionnaire with of point of doubt, because no research is 100% correct research. There's always a percentage of doubt which needs to be kept open for assumptions. Self-reported measures are measures in which respondents are added to report directly to their behavior, belief, attitudes, intentions. That's what I told Kratika. But then her question here was how accuracy is ensured in the report. So that's what I told, that there has to be somewhere or the other a point of disparity or doubt, because not always it's same. Roel Johnson. Hi, Roel. Good evening. Welcome to the class. Ma'am, make a video on whole psychology book of class 12th in one shot. Roel, I would love to do that. It's just that it's going to be taking a lot of time. Hi, Cheher. It's going to be taking a lot of time because it's like almost 8 chapters. So, not everybody will have that much time and patience to watch that 3 to 4 hours video at one shot. So, that's the reason I have done videos on chapter wise. So, all the chapters are already there in the Unacademy learning app for humanities channel. Go ahead and check it out, and you will get all of it, beta, and you'll get an understanding to all of it. Very good evening, Chahar. Okay, moving to the next one, the theories of intelligence. Now, psychologists have definitely proposed different sort of theories with different processing unit, different ways of approach. Now, first here, when we are talking about the psychometric approach, which considers intelligence. Hi, Roel. Roel, good evening. Okay, where we are speaking about intelligence as an aggregate of ability. Aggregate as in a group. Okay, aggregate as in a group of abilities. Now it expresses the individual's performance on a single index of cognitive abilities, thought process, the way it is developed, the way it is thought, the way it is functioning, structured. So on the other hand, the information processing is approaching and describes the process available or people in the intellectual reasoning or problem solving. Any questions still here? Okay, now the question here, where we are speaking about the focus of approach of how a person intelligently reacts. Now, it can be as per the situation. All right, Roel, I'm sure there is a video because I have done all the chapters. Please go ahead and check it. If not, I will definitely try to take that second chapter you are saying, right? Mm. Self and personality. Okay, done. So do not worry. The beginning of the month of March, I would be taking some more videos. So I will definitely take this in count. So for anybody who is still watching the video or probably later on, if you have any questions or doubts, if probably any one specific chapter you would want me to take, put it across in the comment section and I'm going to take it from there. Theories are grouped into 4 categories: psychometric, cognitive, cognitive conceptual theories, and biological theories. Ma'am, this is correct. Absolutely correct. Good job, Kratika. Okay, now when you're speaking about the focus, okay, now when you're speaking about the concept, why are you not regular on YouTube? Priyanka, that's a great question, beta. I'm regular on the plus classes. Um on YouTube, we take classes depending on the availability. So my availability is usually on 1st March. Our hostels are going to open. Please try to make it before first. Oh wow, Royal. So hostels are going to open before that. Okay, all right. All right. So, Priyanka, please come across and check out the learning app on Unacademy, and you can see all the videos, including the special classes, which are absolutely free. So, go ahead and check out my profile, and you will get many videos which are being done on class 12 psychology, guys. Okay. So, moving to the theories of intelligence and all the other theories which are a basic part and parcel, why I would like you guys to go ahead and check these out is they might just give you a question on the in the board where you can mention any two theories which are important. Okay, any two theories which are important. So starting here is when you're trying to talk about the intelligence theory. Now this theory is very much a part and parcel when it come across the levels, which is conceptualized in a more often way of thinking and solving things maturely in terms of an environment, of seeking and in analyzing data, and how and why the psychologist Binnett's theory of intelligence was rather than understanding the differentiating levels of intelligence, but also about a theory which was in order to understand every problem in an individual's environment. That played a very important role. Yeah, hostels, I did not understand this thing. Our hostels are going to open. So I'm sure probably their schools might be opening. That's the reason probably the hostels might be opening. Something to do with Wi-Fi. I'm just presuming. I'm not sure of it. Okay, so these are contained in what we call as the factors. Now that basically is a very important factor. What is an S factor and what is a G factor? The G factor is a general factor which consists of how the intelligence is showed, and what is the S factor? S factor is basically the specific factor. Now the G factor includes mental operations which are primary and common to the performance, whereas the other factors are specific, which is called the S factor. Excellent singers, people who are into designing, people who are scientists, okay, athletes, they are very high on these kind of G factors. But in addition, they have specific abilities which allow them to excel in these domains. Okay, for example, the theory of Spearman's, which followed by Lewis Thurston's theory, which proposed the theory of primary mental abilities of what is there, why is it functioning in that way, what is the aspect involved, and what are the circumstances we are going to see about it. So yes, theory of multiple intelligence. Now what is it? That necessarily you have to work and interact with people and function in such a way. It is kind of high, or it's not necessary whether it's going to be high or low in terms of intelligence. It's just that intelligence is not a single entity. That if your intelligence only because you're good at this thing, only because you're good at this thing, or from example something else. Intelligence can be, in a wide variety of things. It has a plethora of chances and scope, indicating being high or low on types of intelligence. Okay, so Gardner also now studied extremely talented people have linguistic skills and intelligence. Now there are 8 types of intelligence. First one, which I'm trying to talk about it here. um, Only JEE and NEET students go to hostels and quota. Am I logical and mathematical, ma'am? No, it's not like that, but it depends on the financial stabilities and the economic background which people have. There are some people who probably study from some other places where they cannot have, or they do not want to afford a standard of living from those places. They move out. So it's not regards to only those people, but yeah, it depends. So it's not, let's not stereotype that statement that only people who come belong to IIT or NEET or JEE will go to the hostels. It can be anybody. Yeah, I'm a humanity student. When I was doing my graduation in Pune University, I belong to Nagpur, but I was staying in Pune hostel as well. So that it's not the case. Even a humanity student can stay. It depends on what the circumstances are, you know. So okay, now let's just, this is logical. Okay, so let's move about the linguistic skills. Now, this here we are speaking about the use of language, where the capacity to use a language fluently and flexibility with flexibly is to express one's thinking or to understand others. Now, this is again, let's take an example here about the poets or the people who write or the authors. They have this very strong component in their life, and that's the reason they are pretty articulate in terms of writing poems, writing articles, uh, writing literary pieces, and hence they have this linguistic skills. What is a logical and mathematical skill here? Now this is when specifically a problem solving skill for people who are very high in terms of science, where their logic is strong, where their mindset and skills here work in a very heavy manner. Mathematics. Okay. Scientist and Nobel Prize winner. These people are likely to be very strong in these kind of component, that they are brilliant in the logical and mathematical aspects. Now then is spatial skills. This is basically informing visual images and patterns. This is most commonly in terms of the creative people who are into interiors, who are into decoration, the people who are highly in developed spatial intelligence, the sculptors, the painters. Okay, their innovation and the processing. Somewhere or the other, Priyanka, that's a smart thing. But see, when we are speaking about the linguistic skills, it's not just about the people who have the buttery talks, but they are somewhere or the other good with literature, with the literary pieces. So spatial, of course, it's about the sculptors, the painters, the architects, okay, the sailors, the surgeons. These people definitely have a lot of spatial intelligence, and this is another aspect where they feel skills in forming visual images and patterns around them. Next is musical sensitivity. Now musical sensitivity, of course, people who are good with sounds, vibrations, pacing, uh, they create sound, they live in it, they produce sound, they create it, they customize it, everything which is in regards to music. Okay, next is a bodily kinesthetic. Now here it is more about people who are into sports or dance, when they are flexible, where their body is flexible, whether they are doing gymnastics, whether they are, these kind of people have this kind of intelligence where they are flexible and they have their entire body is bound to do this, learn this, and they enjoy doing it because they have a knack in it. So they are the bodily kinesthetic people who use their whole kind of portions of body in order to be show flexibility or probably creativity. Okay, creatively. Interpersonal. Now interpersonal is sensitivity to subtle aspects of others behavior. This is the skill of understanding different motives, feelings, and behavior of other people when you have a comfortable bond with the others. So, this is in terms of the psychologists, therapists, people who meet social workers, the NGO people, where you like to get into that field where you share that bond, you talk with them, you discuss certain things, and these people also possesses a high intelligence level in terms of interpersonal relationship, where you're trying to talk with people, you're trying to sympathize, you moreover sympathize, you have to empathize with them. Shashi Tharoor. Shashi Tharoor is next level when it comes to the skill set of literature here. Ma'am, can an individual possess two of these kinds of intelligence in equal measures? Absolutely, yes. There are people who are good with singing as well as good with dancing. There are people who are good equally in terms of painting and singing. So, yes, Alia, that question's answer is yes. People can possess, an individual can possess the two amount of intelligence level here in equal measures, or sometimes in a more balanced measure. So you must have seen people who are very good with dancing as well as painting. So that's how the measurement, the concept here comes across. Okay. So along with interpersonal and intrapersonal, then it comes to about your your feelings, emotions, and everything, how you're a part and parcel of groups. You talk with people, you interact with people. Then comes a very naturalistic. Naturalistic in case, in terms of how your entire concept of natural, in terms of your now concept of ecological things come across, sensitivity to the features of natural world, relationship, the trees, the plants, the nature, the roads, the whatever is happening around. That is somewhere or the other. People who are very much fond of keeping pets, people who are very much fond of having aquariums in their house. Okay, that's absolutely a part and parcel here. It is possible, but one of the kind of intelligence is usually dominant, which chooses your career path. That's, Priyanka, very very true. It is, and it is actually a fact. It is actually a fact, beta. Okay. Next is the triarchic theory of intelligence, which was proposed in terms of the ability to adapt, shape, and give the environment of one society and culture. Mostly here you're trying to speak about the componential, experiential, and conceptual things. Now, where you're trying to speak about componential is your analytical intelligence, where you're trying to do things on your thinking ability is high. People usually in school, their analogical thinking is more. Correct? Am. Okay, Priyanka. All right. Componential intelligence, as in your analytical skills, are really high and very good. For example, mostly people with math and science, they're very, very good. Experiential is when your creative intelligence is basically with the past experience to solve problems, novel problems. Now, it's a situation. You must have seen in the textbooks of CBSE where you've discussed all these things, where you're planning to do things in a conceptual intelligence and way, or man, plan in much more better way. Okay, conceptual practices intelligence, which are being dealing with the environmental demands, whatever is happening around you, the needs, the desires of environment, modifying the environment, and vice versa. Next is planning, attention arousal, and simultaneous successive PASs. Now, the past model of intelligence is when it is discussed in order to express that how the arousal, the coding, the processing, collecting the information, processing the information takes place. But maybe social conditioning can also play a role in making you think that only one of your possessed skills are good for building a career. See, it's not about, now your question was whether you can have both these skills. And I said yes. Okay. Now Priyanka quoted in the way that one of them will be still dominant, which is a fact. When you speak about choosing a career, any building a career, any which ways, you have to be sure shot about only one stream rather than being skeptical and being confused. For example, Alia, you might have a lot of likings, you might have a lot of passion, but you might have you need to pick up one which will be your career, and rest of them will be your hobbies and hobbits. Hobbits and habits, ah, hobbies and habits, I'm only getting fumbled. So that's very very important, because you cannot be fickle minded, collecting and jumping off to the place that I want everything, I want to do everything. That is not the way your intelligence can process, or your mind can function like that. It has to be any one. But for instance, if you say about liking and holding the conditioned response of behavior and intelligence, that definitely can be a part and parcel, because you're planning it in that way. Okay, so please remember, when you are having the past model, or when you're learning about the past model, what you have to be sure about, there are individual differences. Okay, just because I am intelligent doesn't mean my sister is intelligent. Just because my sister is intelligent doesn't mean that I would be intelligent. Just because the parents are intelligent, it is not a sure shot reasoning that the kids will also be intelligent. It is never going to happen. Remember, every individual, every thinking, every thought process, every the way of behaving, the way of reacting towards things is going to be very different. It's never the same, it cannot be the same. Okay, so there are differences in intelligence, and you have to understand the assessment of intelligence, which I showed you in the two places and two sides. That's very very important in order to understand and judge certain things in a much more. Now, coming to the next one is basically self and personality. Now, yes, definitely we are going to speak about the self and personality one, but like I'm telling you guys, we have a few more minutes for this chapter and class to get over. But please remember, we have one more class tomorrow for part two, and I would definitely want you guys to join part two class as well. Um, Thanks a lot, ma'am. We really needed this revision, ma'am. God bless you. I'm glad that it is helping you. And please don't worry, we would be having the part two class tomorrow as well. Because this class is happening on YouTube, let me tell you guys one more time. You can join in the Telegram channel, and tomorrow also we would be having the class at the same time. That's 8:50 p.m. Don't forget to join the class. Okay. So Alia, Priyanka, everyone else, I'm just so happy and glad that you guys are happy joining the class and really FST Sec A, yeah, that you have liked the class and you want the revision to go on, so which will happen. Now when we speak about the concept of self and personality, okay, uh, please remember, the session was very informative. Alia, God bless you. I'm happy if any of it has helped you. Okay, now when we speak about the concept of discussion on self and personality is what? Basically understanding yourself, understanding what your personality is, how it is different from people. Why are you angry? Why do you have ego drills? Why you have ups and downs? How your hormones dance? How do you react to certain things? So all these things of this chapter, in which we are going to study about the ideas to represent the self of a person, thought process, given a situation, how you're reacting to it, how you're stable, how you're not able to be stable, how can you balance, how you're not able to balance, along with a pattern of behavior, the personality of a person, or whichever can possess different personalities. Okay, I'm sure that these pictures can show you that what is the connection of self and personality when we speak about a person's attribute or a person's skill. Okay, which is very very important. And the concept of self itself is about interacting with people, knowing your experiences, learning from their experiences, which gives you a kind of light, okay, to your own experiences with the people others. Probably whatever you are feeling today, someone else might be feeling in the some other way, or some other world that person might be, but you can somewhere or the other pick on things and have cultural identities, interact with them, learn from their attributes, identify from their personal as well as your personal as well as your public spheres, and all these things which we would be doing in the concept of self chapter. And we would be continuing from this chapter in tomorrow's class, that's discussion on self and personality. We would also be doing the third chapter and the fourth chapter with the next one. And as you can see, this is going to be a revision class. So we have all the units along with psychological disorders and every single thing we would be covering in tomorrow's class. Once again, please do not miss to join tomorrow's class. And I'm hoping to see you guys at the same time. And take care of yourself. God bless you. Stay safe. Good evening, Javeer. Very sorry, beta. I'm just wrapping up with the class. I'm hoping to see you guys tomorrow. So, yeah, once again, thank you so, so much. And please join the Telegram link to get all the updates on the class. And God bless you.